there is so many migrants who have come to this country purporting to be experts in various fields. They have been given permit to work in Kenya. Even some of them have no technical expertise, taking jobs for Kenyans who are even very qualified. What is this that the ministry is doing to ensure that we don't have hawkers coming here purporting to be expert in various fields? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Julius Sunguli. 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just want to ask the Minister to confirm whether the answer he gave about birth certificates also applies to forms for registration of persons. Because as far as Kilgoris is concerned, there has been no registration, fresh registrations of persons for nearly 6 months now, and the reason being that there are no forms. What is the Minister going to do to ensure that those forms are available? And attached to that, Mr. Speaker, if the Minister could confirm, could explain what he means by operationalizing new administrative areas when in fact it is members of parliament through CDF who build these facilities. All he does is to post people there. And could he remove Kilgoris from, Transmara West district from those districts that require vetting, because we do not border any international, we don't have an international border. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Member for Kilome.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. Mine is just very brief, and this one goes direct to the CS. I had a serious meeting with the CS for the last, like around 60 days, and they promised me that this is Kilome constituency, CS. You promised me I will get a registrar in my constituency because I already have the office. So I just wanted to make a follow-up on the same. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Last on this, Johana Ngeno.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also wish to congratulate the CS for the questions and answers he has made. Mr. Speaker, mine is just almost on the same issue of registration centers. Mr. Speaker, I would wish the CS to consider whether in those areas where there are no registration centers, to make mobile registration, so that those people who cannot, or by the time the government puts money to build offices and send officers there, people should be able to access those particular registration centers. Speaker, and secondly,
one at a time.
Speaker, secondly, on the question of boundaries, areas that are bordering international countries, where we have serious vetting and actually denying people to get their IDs, can they also remove Emurua Dikirr from that list of constituencies which are bordering either Tanzania or other countries? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Can we stop here on this question, members? Yes, Minister, answer those supplementaries.
Sorry, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, on the last issue, which has been raised by a member for Emurua Dikirr and another member earlier on, the government takes the view and has decided that vetting is a discriminative process which exposes citizens from certain parts of the country to unduly difficult procedures. Of course, the reason why this policy has been there is for good reasons. It's for our national security. Where you have large threats, then you need to be a bit careful so that you minimize security threats through the registration of our citizens. However, we have come up with a modality of ensuring that all critical documents from passports, IDs, birth certificates, all critical documents must be supplied within 21 days, irrespective of where the applicants come from. Where possible, they can come out in 3 days, in 7 days, in 10 days, but no Kenyan should wait for 6 months, for a year, for 2 years to get an ID or a passport simply because they come from a certain part of the country. Therefore, within the next 3 months, the policy of vetting in all the citizen registration services will be abolished and replaced with a new way of ensuring that all registration documents are achieved by all Kenyans within a maximum of 21 days. Honorable Speaker, the issue of vetting, actually, I was in Moyale, and I came across Kenyan youths who had been waiting for IDs for 3 years and 2 months. About 10 young people from Moyale. They applied when they were 18, now they are 21, and they are still waiting. Why? Vetting. We are still, NIS and other institutions are still verifying certain things. This is unacceptable. We are going to abolish that. Honorable Speaker, the member for Kilome, it is true, I agree, Honorable Speaker, I committed to the member who came to my office that we will post a civil registration officer there, but I asked him to support, and that also ties with the question the member asked, what kind of support is this the CS is talking between the national government and CDF? Where the member through CDF is able to obtain consent to build the office, then we give staff and of course the resources that are tied to making sure the office is operational. And that is what we are calling operationalization for the member for Kilgoris. Because even if it's built by CDF, CDF is also public money, okay? But the unit is not operational because the Ministry of Interior must post an officer and give that officer money in the budget to run the office. You can build an office and it's not operational because, one, there is no staff, or you have staff who have no budget to run the office. Honorable Speaker, therefore, in response to the member for Emurua Dikirr, member for Kilgoris, and other members, vetting will not only be abolished in those constituencies, but across the country. And for the member for Kilome, now that the office is complete, I will post a civil registrar in Kilome on Monday. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Joseph Gitari, you have 2 questions in a row. Minister, indulge him to ask both at the same time. They seem to be related to security issues. So ask question 106 and 107.
Together.
Together.
Thank you, Speaker. I wish to ask question 106 of 2023, where I'm asking the Cabinet Secretary.
Minister, note that there are 2 questions coming at the same time.
Number 1, clarify whether occurrence book numbers OB number 10-11-01-2022 at 18:05 hours and 07/9/05/2022 at 11:25 hours reported at Kagumo Police Station, and OB number 14/24/9/2022 and OB number 09/10/12/2021 reported at Kavonge Police Post in the name of one Laban Rukenya Munene related to the same person. Number 2, explain under what circumstances did the above mentioned person with all the 4 entries in the occurrence book has only been arrested once and failed to attend court for case number 3356/22 despite having a warrant of arrest in his name. Number 3, state the reason as to why the said person was released from Kagumo Police Station in September 2022, despite having serious pending cases against him. Mr. Speaker, I also want to ask question 107, 2023, whereby I'm asking the Cabinet Secretary to explain the measures the Ministry has instituted to address the emergence of criminal gangs and groups with terror rings or affiliated to terror groups in the country, including actions being taken against those that are facilitating with rings or sponsoring such groups. Number 2, describe the strategies the ministry has put in place to deal with the emergence of criminal gangs in major towns of Nakuru, Nairobi, Mombasa, and other towns, in particular criminal gangs known as Wechame militia group that is terrorizing residents in Kagumo town in Kirinyaga Central. Number 3, explain the security measure that the minister has put in place to address rampant insecurity incidences in Kirogoya town, especially along Meringaere Road and Kemore area. I submit.
Minister, I think those are related questions from the same area, and we can be done in 20 minutes on this.
Thank you, Honorable